Yeah, I think he'd be a dope addition to the UFC.
Did Conor do more good or harm to the UFC?
That'd
More,
be a
huh?
sick one.
What the hell is up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Juan More Round. I think it's like episode 18 or 19, or who gives a shit at this point, dude? Ain't nobody watching anyways. But we out here. We back. We didn't have an in-person podcast because we were all way too drunk in Mexico.
Yeah, good times.
Good times, though. Good times. Maybe I'll drop a clip from there. Maybe I won't. But anyways, dude, there's no UFC card this weekend, so we can just
Sad.
yeah, just
Disappointed.
get into just some topics, kill some time.
What'd I do with my life now?
Shit, honestly, dude, I might have to talk to the people that live in this house, like my girlfriend and shit. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
But
no, I
anyways,
guess.
man,
What's
let's
up?
see. Just get some highlights going on from this week's card that just passed that we completely missed. Didn't do our
Yeah.
job,
Nope.
but it's all
Nope.
good.
But you know what? Who watched them anyways? Who's talking about these fights
Ain't nobody
right
talking
now?
about these fights. Dude.
I haven't heard anybody talk about these fights this week.
Ain't nobody talking about this shitty card.
Nah, man. So that's on the UFC. They
Hey,
should
man.
they should definitely be doing a better job at letting us know about this shit.
But yeah, before we get into anything, though, apparently there was a dude on this card, the co-main. Like I said, I already forgot who
Uh-huh.
was on the co-main, but he got pulled for herpes flare-up at the last second.
Sheesh.
So let me ask you something. You're Paul Craig, right?
Uh-huh.
Your opponent, you're about to do the walk. Your opponent pulls out because he got herpes. Hunter Campbell goes, "Hey, we're gonna reschedule this for the next card in basically next week." Would you fight the dude knowing he's got herpes?
No. Absolutely not. That's insane. What? Nah. That's crazy talk. I wouldn't fight him. Like, unless it's like, oh, if it was like a championship fight, yeah, for sure. But just like how it's like right here, right now, like exhibition type shit, nah. I'm not fighting this dude, bro. You're not touching me, bro.
Imagine, dude, you're in the clinch, dude. Paul Craig decks him with an elbow right in the forehead.
Uh-huh.
This dude pulls guard. He's in your full guard over you, just dropping blood all over your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Nah. Nah, this dude, I'm not rubbing nothing with this dude, bro. Like, no skin on skin contact for me. Because
That's
you know it's gonna happen. You're
that's
Paul Craig.
yeah, dude. You know that fool would be playing jujitsu and she's gonna be rubbing his
Yeah, man.
herped up body all over you.
Oh yeah. Absolutely not. I wouldn't. The only way it's like if it's a championship fight. Because, if you win, you get the belt, you got money to take care of that.
There you go, dude. You're gonna see. I think at the next week's part, Aaron Blanchfield or
What?
whatever. I think Aaron Blanchfield and Lacey Barber. I think he's gonna be on that. I think I'm missing that one. Nah, bro, I've been at it. Go run his medicals one more time. Just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I'm wanting blood work, everything before I fight. Before signing.
I just be like, man, give him the dub, bro. I'll take that one. Give me the next guy up.
I'll
Give me
take
the
a
next-
loss.
Imagine that.
Imagine he just works his way up the
Yeah.
ranks.
Everybody just keeps pulling out. He just becomes a champion because nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah. Hey, that's one way. That'll be the key.
That's funny. But all right, dude. Next topic. So I try to get tickets to UFC 318. That's on the way. Just for you. Nosebleeds
go?
run you about $475 after fees, close to $500.
Hell nah.
Is the UFC trying to price out their fans with pay-per-views and ticket prices, or what's up?
I definitely think so. Cause 400. What you say? 416?
It was like 406 before fees, or like 416, yeah.
before fees. Nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds.
And it's like, who's gonna spend $400? Let's just put it flat. $400 in general for nosebleeds. That's almost like, I mean, I wouldn't say Super Bowl money, but almost like you're spending that
economy,
much
bro.
for a regular UFC fight. Like, okay, yeah, I get it's Dustin Poirier's retirement fight, but also, like, yeah, like it's getting a little bit ridiculous there. I think eventually we'll get to the time where we're not gonna see a lot of people in those seats. And I don't know how the UFC is gonna do it to hide it, but they're gonna do it. But there will be not enough seats sold.
Well, you saw it
Cause
in Canada.
oh yeah,
Their prices were around 400 for nosebleeds, and then like the week of, they still had like 50% of the tickets still on
yeah,
sale, and then they end up reducing their price to about $200 for nosebleeds.
yeah. And then that's like okay, that's last minute buys, and that only maybe works for people that live there locally, you know. So why not just do like a local special price so you can get guaranteed tickets sold, you know? Like why not like do something like that, you know? So at least the people around that area can actually go to it instead of dropping next thing we know it's what $600 for nosebleeds.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
It's too crazy. That's just to watch an event. And then you also have to worry about paying what you're gonna pay inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Parking.
everybody over the age of 21 is probably gonna drink. Those drinks are not cheap. Then you gotta eat if you're gonna sit there since early prelims because you want to get your money's worth. So you're gonna have to eat, and food's not cheap either. So how much you think you would drop on that alone?
I mean,
Drinks and food.
if you sit nosebleeds, parking, food and
Parking, I
drinks,
forgot about
that's
that.
just gonna run you an extra like 300 just off shit that you buy, like 200-300 bucks.
Let's just say, okay, you've been long time waiting to go to a UFC event. You want to get a little bit of merch, you know? You want to support UFC. You want to get a little bit of merch. Say they might have something cool, like let's say for this one, Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. You know, they might have some diamond shirts out there that are pretty cool. That'll run you maybe like $100 nowadays, like a special edition shirt, just the shirt.
All right, and then
Then maybe
oh, go ahead.
then maybe you want to get like a maybe you want to get the poster. How much do those posters
Fuck,
run
those
you
shits are
right
like a hundred
nowadays?
bucks, I think.
Exactly. See, so you're spending now an extra, let's say $400 on top of your $400 ticket. So you just spent $800
And then
to go to one UFC event.
you gotta account for all the money you lost gambling, dude.
Then you know you're gonna put some parlays down. You know you're gonna put just to try to recover that money.
Yeah.
So that's $900 right there. We'll just say you put an easy 100 down, you know?
All
Maybe do
right.
a couple split parlays, but yeah.
So then let me ask you. So when they do like pay-per-views, right? Sometimes like they had in Canada where the card was kind of mid. I mean, it was all right, but still kind of mid.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or when they go to like Australia, that's usually pretty mid card too. You
Okay.
think those prices should be cheaper? Like they shouldn't be standard $80 pay-per-view price?
Yeah, I definitely okay. If they're gonna do what they're doing right now, and if they're gonna give you a stat card, and they're gonna price you out like that, at least if you're gonna give me a mid card, make it cheaper, you know? Balance it out here. Not don't give me a mid card with still $400 nosebleeds because, like you said, people aren't gonna go. And then when you try to sell tickets last minute, I think people still are not gonna go because they're already gonna have plans to either maybe they're gonna go to a friend's house or they were just gonna watch it at home and not really spend all that money. And all of a sudden, hey, oh, it's $200. Man, well, already my money's already tied up, you know. And now you have empty seats. And I
Yeah.
don't think with a new deal with Netflix, they're gonna want to reflect that. They want full stadiums for sure. If not, maybe they're gonna have to reduce to like smaller venues, not these arenas that they're trying to supposedly fill every time breaking records.
Yeah, I just think they're gonna get to the point where they're gonna price out their fans and people are gonna revolt.
Yeah, and the only way to revolt is just not buying, you know?
Yeah.
That which people are gonna do it whether they like it or not if they don't have the money.
Bastards. All right, man. That's enough stupid price talk. Let's move on. All right, one of the stars from the UFC card last weekend,
Oh,
JDM's jiu-jitsu coach, Craig Jones.
yeah.
How do you think he would fare in the UFC?
Uh, okay. If he got the CM Punk treatment, star, star. If they send him to the Wolves, like knockout artists, I don't know, cause you still got to get in there, you to get close to actually getting him to the ground. But I think he would fare pretty good. I think he'd do good in the UFC. He just have to get his striking down. Obviously not over here Gordon Ryan, John Jones level striking. Nah, nah, nah. Like I think with just good enough striking, just to get another fighter thinking, and get kind of worried about what he's gonna do, even though you already know he's gonna go for the takedown, but he's gonna get it. He's that good. But I think he would do pretty good. I don't know about champion, but definitely good.
Yeah, he strikes me as like the Kevin Holland type, where he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He just get his
Yeah,
money. He'd
yeah.
definitely be like a marketing freaking gold mine if the UFC were to sign
Oh,
him, dude.
oh,
It's gotta
for
be
sure.
a
And he can
liability
talk
for
smack.
sure. A liability for sure, though, as far as crossing some lines. But that dude would be dope in the
Yeah,
UFC.
yeah. I think he'd be a dope addition to the UFC. And dude, he's already talking smack to the fighters. Like he's not afraid of them.
There you go.
He's not
And
just over here. I'm just coach. I'm just
I
coach.
think about it though. He trains with Volk, trains with
Uh huh.
JDM. Got some solid coaching, MMA coaching right there.
Yep.
Honestly, dude, it'd be dope to see this guy in Gordon Ryan MMA event,
Yeah. In the future, like that,
MMA
that
fight.
that'd be cool. How old is he?
Craig Jones, probably like I
Yeah,
don't
Craig
know,
Jones.
early 30s, probably.
Early 30s.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
think
Let's see.
so?
Let's see. Craig Jones' age.
Because he looks maybe like 31, maybe. He
He's
looking
33.
31. Oh, 33.
33, dude. In his prime.
He's
He's
up
going
there.
there, just
He's
going
getting
there.
up there. But 2 years, solid 2 years. Like I said, CM Punk treatment. They make him a star, and he's up there.
Or you
He's
just
up there.
feed him some cans, you know? Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, Kron Gracie, they kind of slowly built him up. He was out there just
Ooh,
subbing everybody.
ooh,
Dude,
yep,
striking's
yep,
atrocious. Mackenzie Dern,
yep,
striking's atrocious. She's still pretty
yep,
good.
yep.
You just gotta pay this man because this dude out here just living
Yeah,
life.
he's
Not gonna
he
pass
is
any
living life.
USADA test or whatever
But
drug
dude,
it.
I don't know. To me, Craig Jones just seems like that type of guy that he just do it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, like he just seems like he'd be
Just
like, fuck it.
this would be cool. Yeah, F it. This would be pretty cool. And then yeah, we'll combine it with Craig Jones Invitational Friday night, and we'll do the UFC fight the next day.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be dope
Some
to.
deal, some deal like that.
It'd be pretty dope to see him in the UFC.
Yeah.
Just for like, he ain't gonna win
Oh
no
yeah.
championship, just for some shits and giggles, though.
Nah. And I would just want to see him against Islam, just because he's talking so much smack about him.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next topic.
Yeah.
All this champ bullshit talk. What's your take on champions moving up or moving down and try to get a second belt? How should the UFC regulate that?
I think Dana gave way too much leniency on this now. Now seeing what has happened with this type of stuff, it's way too much leniency, and I think the fighters should at least defend their belt 2 times before they can even think about moving up in weight or moving down like TJ Dillashaw. Crazy talk right there. But I think they should at least defend 2 times to at least start thinking about it. Because what has happened now in all these divisions, it's too many stalls that we're not getting the fights that we want or as fans. Obviously the fighters also have a decision in that and a choice and all that, but also you guys are tiptoeing too much right now.
Yeah, see, you're more generous than I am, dude. I say you got to defend at least 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5, all
You
right.
got to beat everybody in the top 5.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you're champion, you got to beat
Uh-huh.
everybody that's in the top 5. That as soon
Okay.
as soon as you're champion,
Wow.
right? Because
Wow.
think about it.
Okay.
Is anybody asking for Makachev versus JDM?
No, no,
He's
no.
got.
Everybody thinks it's a fun fight for sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for
nobody
sure.
asked for it. Nobody asked for it.
Okay, but now let me ask you this: if Pantoja moved up to fight Marab, would you be mad at that?
I wouldn't, but also I didn't ask for that one either.
Well, see,
I don't really. I'm not even really interested in Pantoja versus Marab.
I would say if he beats Kai Kara France, he's earned his right because he's basically ran through everybody else. You
Yeah,
know.
no, I agree.
And
I
then
agree with
who's
that.
another one? Like Zhang Wei Li, right? She's basically ran through
Oh,
everybody too.
yeah,
So like when
yeah,
she
she
calls
deserves it for
Valentina, it's
sure.
kind of like, all right, I'm down to see this. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Islam
Like
deserves it for sure too.
Volkanovski, when he did it, nobody was questioning it. Like, nobody wants to
Nope.
see that bullshit. He earned it though.
Yep. Yep.
So
He
I
earned it
think
for sure.
even see, I'm not deriding, bro, but I'm just saying Ilia
Okay.
Topuria, the only exception. He beat the two best
Here we go.
featherweights. Nobody
Yeah.
okay, nobody wants to see him fucking
Yeah.
beat Mosvar. Yair, bro.
Yeah.
I seen Yair get crushed at freaking title fights all the time, bro. But that's
He's
different.
the exception, not the
Yeah,
rule,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
That's an outlier. But who
Yeah, he's
else?
an outlier because he's really good, you know,
Okay,
and he's
Kamar
bringing a kind of a McGregor-esque aura with him, you know.
when Kamar Usman did it, or when he was champion though. If he would have done it, nobody would have been mad at that.
No, 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 I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Same thing with Alex Pereira. When he was on his fucking fight streak, you kind of wanted
Yeah,
to see if he can be triple champ.
yeah,
So
that's true.
I think you should have to defend at least 4 or 5 times. Cause look, you
Yeah,
got
John Jones.
there
John
you go.
Jones, when he moved up, nobody questioned it.
See like Marab, right? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, Marab's different too because he already beat everybody on his way to becoming the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's already beat Sean, he's already beat Peter, already beat Umar.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care about Song Yadong. Corey
Corey
Sandhagen,
Sandhagen
yeah, that's the
up
next one.
next. He's up
Yeah,
next, man. He's up next.
yeah. And see, like this one, or I guess they haven't updated these rankings, but
Sorry.
Volkanovski, Max Holloway's no longer there. He already beat Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
Ilia Topuria is no longer there. He
No.
already beat Yair.
Yep.
Mozart is the next one up, but
Yeah.
I just saw a post though that Mozart is gonna fight Aaron Pico in July,
Oh wow.
and they're fucking gonna give Volkanovski the Yair rematch in UFC
No
no shit.
way.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
yeah. Nobody wants to see that shit, dude.
That's a horrible move.
Yeah,
Am
and
I
it,
still gonna watch it? Yeah, but that's a horrible move, man. Mozart
yeah,
should have been the next one up for sure. They
yeah,
should have gave Aaron Pico Yair
yeah. No, I was nice. I still want to
or
see that
or
Yair, Diego
Aaron
Lopez.
Pico versus Brian Ortega would have been a nice one.
Yeah,
That would have been a sick one. I don't know why they didn't even do that. What's up with Brian Ortega, man?
I don't know,
He
dude.
disappeared.
This guy's like just fucking ranking squatting right now, bro. He ain't doing
I
shit.
guess so.
He ain't doing shit, dude. Hopefully we see him by the end of the year though. But yeah, man. So defend your by title 4 or 5 times. Move on up.
4 or 5 times.
Earn
I
it.
agree. I
Earn
agree.
it. All right,
Yeah.
let's see. Yeah, because you. All right, let's move on to. Speaking of champ status,
Uh-huh.
the man who started it all,
Oh,
Conor McGregor. Let me ask you a question: did Conor do more good or harm to the UFC?
in my opinion, I think he did good
Why?
for the UFC. He definitely brought way more eyes than ever to the sport of MMA, just because he was such a household name. But he became such a superstar that he almost like overstepped the UFC, you know? Just because they let him though, because he was bringing so much money for sure. I'm sure everybody in that time was just swimming in money, bro, in the organization, you know. But I think he did more good just because he made the sport so big. But I could see why it could also hurt the sport now that it's so big. Since like we were just talking about it, all the fans are getting priced out, you know, just because it got so big. But hopefully, I mean, times change, and you know, Hunter Campbell sees something maybe that he can do with his new regime, you know. But I think he did more good than bad. What about you?
Oh, I see. I have completely different. I think he did like more damage to the UFC brand itself
Okay.
than actually good. So like what you say, yeah, he brought eyes or whatnot. But the way I
Uh-huh.
see it, it's kind of like I would probably say it's like the equivalent of like Jake Paul, right? Like when Jake Paul
Okay.
fights, all these people like non UFC or the non boxing fans come and they watch him fight, right? So same thing
Yeah.
with McGregor. Like when McGregor fights, like there's a reason why when he fights, it's like all these fucking numbers and pay per view buys and shit. It's just to
Yeah.
watch him though, you know. But it's like it brings like value, I guess, for that card or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, he created the whole champ thing, which like we were
Yes.
just talked about, created all these
Amazing.
fucking holdups though.
Legendary.
Yeah, but think about all the holdups for divisions that it caused.
Yeah. Well, okay. So going back then, how about they just vacate the belts now? Like
That's
he
a
does.
problem.
Why don't they make that rule? Why don't they
Exactly
just
my
make
point.
that rule?
Exactly
Like,
my
hey,
point
no
though.
more double champs. That's it. You either
So
vacate the belt.
so that's exactly my point though. When Conor McGregor won the champ belt, became the lightweight champion, he held on to the title for like 2 years
Uh-huh.
and he never fought once.
Yeah.
That's why we had the interim champion, Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
So he held up the division. Yeah, he basically held that up.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I think, because one, he held up the lightweight division in its peak. That's when
Yeah.
freaking we had Khabib, we had Tony Ferguson, we had Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they tried to make the fights, but they never did. So that's my thing, all right? So that's that one.
Yeah.
Two, he robbed Michael Chandler of 2 years of his fucking career when this dude was producing just straight highlight fights, you know?
Uh-huh.
So that's another reason. All right, he created this. Oh, another one. When fighters would, come off some impressive wins, what do? They wasted a call out on McGregor, and he like entertained it for one tweet, and that was it. You know,
Oh,
so that was a
yeah, I
way.
do remember that.
Think about
I
all the
do
fight, all the
remember that.
hype, and all the fights that they could have made,
Yep.
and they were too
Yep.
busy worried about McGregor.
When he texted Tony
Yep.
with the Grand Theft Auto
Yep.
picture. I remember that. I
So,
remember
and
that.
okay, so
Yeah.
another one is all the copycats that were created because of McGregor, like Ian
Uh-huh.
Gary, Grant, all the basically people just trying to be like McGregor, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the UFC would have got to the level that it's at now, like just organically, like the way it was trending and growing and whatnot. Yeah, he helped, but like his run was really like,
Well,
well,
no, I don't think so. I don't
why,
think so.
why not?
Organically, no. Because then people wouldn't have been like, oh, wow, this is cool, blah, blah, blah. People, I think, would still maybe be like, oh, it's a little barbaric over here, you know?
Yeah, but
But
it was still barbaric when he was doing
McGregor,
it.
yeah. But I mean, McGregor made it super cool, though.
I guess.
Do you, I don't know. I think you must have forgot
Here we go.
a
Here we go.
McGregor fight night.
It's. I'm not saying.
Do you
I'm
remember
not
how
saying
those
he.
felt?
Yes, I'm
Do
not
you
saying he
remember how
wasn't
those felt?
boring. I'm not
Those
saying he wasn't
felt
boring.
like, you know what? I'm about to have a good night. Like, I can't wait to watch McGregor put it on
But it's exactly
some
what.
dude
That's exactly what I'm saying though. Think about it. Like,
tonight. Bro, there were people fighting after a McGregor fight, bro, because they were that inspired. You saw it yourself, your own eyes. You
yeah,
saw it.
yes,
Come on, man.
but what I'm saying.
There was women smacking men, bro, because they felt so inspired by
Oh
McGregor.
no, dude. We don't talk about that. But what I'm saying is like like think about it. Once he like doesn't fight no more, the brand is still the UFC brand, you know. So I think it would have got to the point that it's at. Like he definitely. I'm not saying he was ever boring. Like yeah, when he fights, dude, like the whole
Yeah,
world stops. But I'm just saying like I just think he did more damage. I think the UFC would have got to the level, maybe not as quick, but I still think they would have got to the level that they are now, just basically just
yeah,
being UFC. Like they got this far without him, you know. And then with them, yeah, obviously it skyrocketed him to a new level. But I just think he did way more
yeah.
damage as far as holding up divisions, creating this champ shit. And it's like, I don't know. Honestly, dude, nobody ever cares if you're champ. If you're the champion, you move up to beat another champion. That's still pretty impressive, you know.
Yeah,
But to hold up two divisions, nah.
yeah,
That's where I draw the line.
yeah. But so then you think organically the UFC would have gone maybe to all these other social media like influencers to think it's cool
Yeah,
that they now have
I think so.
without McGregor?
I think so.
You think they would have gone together with the Nelk Boys organically without McGregor?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You
It's
think they
kind
would have
of.
gotten? Yeah,
I don't know. I
you
don't.
think
Well,
they
it's 'cause
would have
I don't know
gotten?
like how that relationship started, so I can't really like say, oh, they were around
Right,
before.
right, 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 right. But you don't think when they were watching McGregor, they thought this is super
Oh
badass?
yeah, for sure. Like he definitely brought a lot of
Yeah.
people that probably wouldn't
So
have.
if McGregor wouldn't have been there, those eyes wouldn't have been there. At least
Yeah,
in
well,
my
McGregor
belief.
would have been there. Wouldn't have to pay.
Unless they were like hardcores, and I mean I don't know nothing about them, but whatever. But this is just in general, like just people in general. I
Yeah.
don't know if people were that hardcore into UFC back then as they are now.
Well, let me tell you
And
this.
I don't think organically, how you're saying without McGregor, they would have gotten to be hardcores now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. If McGregor wasn't there, I wouldn't have to pay fucking $450 to go to a fucking UFC fight. That's where my real gripe is.
All right, all right.
But yeah, man.
I
So yeah,
get you. I
fuck
get you
McGregor.
on that
Nah.
one.
You think we'll ever see him again or not?
I hope so. Even if we see him in TKO boxing, that'd be cool. But I hope he comes back. Because, I mean, he could do boxing even with his hurt leg. He could do boxing. I'd want to see him in that.
Better BKFC.
No,
Not BKFC. Not down
not
for that.
BKFC. Nah. He's more of a professional than that. Come on.
All right, let's have a little bit more fun then. Fuck it. 'Cause we out here.
Stand your base.
We just having fun. All right.
All right.
Let us. All right. If you could have any UFC, we're gonna do 5 UFC matchups. Okay. We're gonna do 5. You just have to pick. They could be any weights, whatever. It's just like a hypothetical. They meet at a certain weight in the middle and whatnot. Who would be your top 5 fighters or top 5 matches that you'd want to see?
Ooh, current fighters?
Yeah, that'd be current UFC fighters.
Hmm. I'm gonna go Marab versus Volk at featherweight.
Okay.
Jamal Hill versus Derek Lewis at heavyweight.
Hold on.
Okay.
Get some fucking picks here. You said Volk.
Yeah, versus Volk.
All right. It's not
Just
bad.
because Volk, dude, he's proven himself to be just durable, man. As far as I've seen, he's a durable guy. And Marab, he's a cardio machine. So I would want to see that. It's and they're both kind of the same size, right? Like the same
Yeah.
height,
I mean, they're only
almost,
a
right?
division apart.
Yeah.
All right.
And Marab seems like a pretty big guy. So I think he does a big cut too.
All right. Who else?
Uh, Jamal Hill versus Derek Lewis.
All right. Jamal
This
Hill.
one I think would just be fun
You just want to see Jamal Hill
because
get knocked out. Just say it. Just say
no,
it.
no, no, no,
Just
no.
fucking say it, bro.
No. Because Jamal Hill is pretty good at talking smack, and Derek Lewis, he talks weird, so it'd be a fun presser for sure. And I think both of them throw down.
Just say it,
So
bro. Just say you hate,
one of them's getting knocked.
just say
And
you hate Jamal
now,
Hill, bro.
with Derek Lewis losing so much weight, I think they stack up pretty even. Even though Jamal Hill, I don't know, his chin did get tested with Yuri. So Derek Lewis might knock him into space. But
Just,
I believe in Jamal Hill. I believe he'd put up a good fight.
just say you hate him, bro.
Because, I mean, over the years, how many years he got cutting weight?
All right. Who else?
Let's see. Who else? Patty versus Ian Gary at welterweight.
All
That'd be a
right.
nice one. That one again, the same thing. Like the press conference, dude, would be hilarious, man. And I think they both are pretty even in their fighting style. That one would just be a fun presser. Because as soon as Ian Gary would start talking smack, because he's going to do it, then Patty with the comebacks, that'd be cool.
All right.
And I think they're both like, I mean, Patty gets big. We've all seen it.
All right, who else?
Dan Hooker versus Sean Strickland.
Damn, that's fucking
That'd
war,
be a
huh?
sick one. That'd be a sick one. Just because I know Dan Hooker, dude, he would go in there, bro. He would go in there with hands, bro. So we wouldn't see Sean Strickland doing his little leg thing, just trying to check kicks, because Dan Hooker ain't throwing any kicks. No, sir. He's throwing hands. We saw it. Dustin Poirier fight. He's throwing hands. Maybe he'll throw one kick here or there, but not enough for him to just be doing that blocking, his little blocking thing.
He
So
throwing
Sean
hands.
Strickland would have to throw hands. He
All
would have
right.
to throw hands. Those legendary hands that he throws at influencers. We would have to see him.
Okay. Who's the last one?
I would go with Rafael Fiziev versus Yair Rodriguez at lightweight. And then the Dan Hooker one and Strickland was at middleweight,
All right.
if I didn't say it.
Let's see.
This one I like because Rafael Fiziev is like Muay Thai based, and Yair Rodriguez is more of that karate stance, you know? But the good thing about this one is that Yair Rodriguez isn't afraid to throw down. He's not like an MVP where he's just darting in there and then getting out right away. No, Yair Rodriguez will fight in the pocket for a little bit. We've seen it against Korean Zombie.
All right. Some good pick. Well, it's ChatGPT right now who he thinks. This is my picks right here.
All right, let's see. Let's hear him
We
out.
go Tom Aspinall
Okay.
versus shit. Shit.
Nah, that's crazy.
At heavyweight, my
That's
boy.
crazy.
At heavyweight, my
Hey,
boy.
hey, this guy's ego gets that big. He just starts going through all the ranks.
At heavyweight, my boy.
That's
All
crazy.
right.
That's
Next
crazy,
one.
bro.
Next one. They were sparring recently, so
Okay.
you can kind of see what it would have looked like.
Okay. Sean O'Malley versus
Yes,
Adesanya.
sir.
I would want to see that one. That'd be a nice one. Dude, you know another one that I would want to see? Dan Hooker versus Adesanya. Just saying. I know they're brothers and whatever, but I'd want to see it one day. Just for
So one of them goes bad.
funsies, you know?
All
For a
right.
retirement fight, I think that would be a cool one. Just saying.
All right. You ready for my next one?
Go for it.
Hold on. Hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes. Johnny boy.
Okay. Okay. Against who?
You're not going to be ready for this.
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna be ready for
I don't
this.
think you're going to be ready for this.
You just threw me off with the first one. Oh. Okay, so heavyweight John Jones or light heavyweight John Jones?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now which ones I'd go with. All right. Who else? Who else? Who are my other ones? Oh, right here. I'm going to copy this guy.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Who's he going to fight? Who do you think?
Ah, man, you're throwing me off right here, man. I don't
Who do
know,
you
Pajeda?
think? Nope. Close.
Oh, shoot. Dude, I think Hamzat just tosses this guy around.
All right. Last
That's
one. Last
insane.
one. Who's the last one? Oh, right here.
But that would be a sick one if Marab won. If you
All
tired
right.
him out.
You ready for
Five
this one?
rounds.
You ain't ready
Yeah.
for this one, dude. I don't think you're
Let's
ready.
see. Okay, okay.
I don't think you're ready for it.
Shum.
I shouldn't even show you, bro, because you're not ready for it.
Shum.
And who's
Don't
he
tell
gonna
me
fight?
you're gonna put Zhang Wei Li there, bro.
No, no.
Don't tell me you're gonna put Zhang Wei Li.
Hey, you ready? I don't know if you're ready. I don't know if I should show you, dude, because I just feel like you're not gonna take me serious
Let's see.
and I feel like you're just gonna think I'm just fucking around when I'm not, though. No, I'm kidding. I'm
No, you
kidding.
just see,
I'm kidding. I'm
see,
kidding. I'm
see.
kidding.
You just want to see him get knocked out. See, there you
No,
go.
no,
You
no, no,
too,
no.
huh?
No, 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 no. This one right here.
There you go. There you go. Oh no, dude, no. Why would you do that?
All right. So I'm gonna go.
No.
These guys would fight at heavyweight.
Okay.
All right. This is just assuming, like, Taporia somehow morphs his body. I want to see these two guys at lightweight because I
Uh-huh.
feel like that would be the quickest. Maybe welterweight, but
Yep.
I'll go lightweight. These guys, I would say light heavyweight, just because that's John Jones's peak and we know what he looks like. These guys, I would say they're gonna fight at welterweight, right in the middle. And then these two guys right here, I'm gonna say middleweight.
Okay.
That's my picks.
Middleweight. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad.
All right, so let's
Middleweight,
see.
that'd be a pretty sick one.
Now let's ask ChatGPT who he thinks would win. Let's see. Let's see what
See.
young Chat got to say.
All right.
Hold on,
Dude,
tween.
you know what made me happy to
What's
see
up?
on the Canada fight, or at
What's
least
up?
in the embedded in that upcoming week?
Balalu's.
No,
Oh,
that Joanna Jędrzejczyk's still doing good out there.
she out here doing the damn thing.
She out here, man. Good for her. Good for her. I thought we had lost her. She just went off to I don't know where.
What division did you say for these two?
That one in lightweight. Oh no, my bad. Featherweight. Featherweight.
All right, let's see.
All right. Dang.
All
Whoa,
right, let's
whoa.
see.
ChatGPT didn't do this last time. That's crazy.
Oh, I
That's
guess.
cool.
Okay. All right. Fight analysis, prediction, Volkanovski by unanimous decision.
All right. All right.
All right. If
Hey, ChatGPT is going crazy, bro. You want a version in Joe Rogan Hype 5 promo voice?
that's crazy.
Wow. Wow. You can do that now?
All right, Jamal Hill, Derek Lewis.
Ooh.
Jamal Hill's gonna get slept. I already know it.
I don't
I
know.
already know
Let's
it.
see. Let's see.
Derek Lewis
Oh,
by KO, second round.
second round. Oh, that's it. Just
Derek is
melted.
that's fuck.
He just melted Jamal Hill.
The Black Beast does it again.
Wow.
All right, we'll wait for this one.
That one, welterweight. Dude, lately I've been seeing clips
Mhm.
of Charles Oliveira and him just getting chin checked, bro. I'm
Ah,
scared for him,
he's
man.
gonna get put to
I'm
sleep,
scared
bro.
for him, man.
Ian
Cause, dude,
Gary
I don't know, I
TKO.
don't know, dude. I don't know why people are saying that Charles Oliveira is just gonna eat these shots, bro. Just cause he's bigger. I don't know.
We'll wait for this one.
Ooh, this one, middleweight. They always go towards the ChatGPT just goes towards weight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They're like, weight
All right.
matters. Well, Ilya Tapour is gonna prove that wrong.
Jab machine.
June 28th.
That's funny. All right, let's see.
Ooh.
Sean Strickland, unanimous
What?
decision.
Get out of here. Nah, ChatGPT's tripping. That's why ChatGPT been wrong a bunch of times.
All right, last one. If Fiziev versus Yair. We'll wait for this one.
This one lightweight.
All right. 5'8" against 5'11". Muay Thai. Ooh. Pretty much all the bigger
Wow.
guy, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. If assuming they were the same weight in a heavyweight fight, who wins? Tom Aspinall or Ilya
That's
Topuria?
crazy, dude. You know what the answer is gonna be.
I shouldn't.
Dude, we know what the answer is gonna be, man. There's just no way. There's
Submit.
just no way.
Come
See,
on.
this one was so quick. This one was so quick, man. It didn't even have to think.
If both are equal in size and strength, Aspinall's overall toolkit is more versatile. Man, ChatGPT don't know nothing, dude. Ilya ain't never losing. Now do
Come
Izzy
on, man.
versus O'Malley at lightweight.
Ooh, ooh. See, this one, it's gonna have to think. Precision, see? Ah,
Izzy, man.
my
This is Izzy.
decision. Dang. What a bot answer.
For real, dude. ChatGPT don't know nothing.
Bot answer over here. It is a bot.
Light heavyweight.
And we're over here eating it up.
This motherfucker don't know nothing.
Nah.
All right, here we go.
Clash of Kings.
Clash of Kings.
Wow.
Dude, that's crazy. He's only 5 inches taller than him.
See what happened to
Or
that, dude?
6 inches.
What happened to those kind of promos, dude? Clash of Kings, bro. How sick does
John
that sound?
Jones, bro. Come on. I think ChatGPT's just picking the fucking.
The heavy fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's going like by statistics, I guess you could say. It's just going with the heavier fighter.
Yeah. Boring as
It's
hell,
just
dude. ChatGPT.
it's not going by hope, man.
ChatGPT don't got no freaking
It
creativity.
doesn't know grit, dude.
Yeah.
ChatGPT don't know grit.
All right, let's see. Hamzat. Man, he's just gonna keep picking the heavy guys.
Yeah. It's only like 10 pounds, ChatGPT. Come on.
All right, let's see his last hope.
All right.
Give me Dustin. Give me
It's gonna
Dustin.
pick Pajeda, bro. By KO, probably.
Give me Dustin.
One shot, KO power.
Man,
Yep. I told you.
maybe he's not
I
getting it.
told you. I told you. Hey,
Cause look, why?
hey, make sure you put in there account for grit.
Yeah. Who got more grit?
That's a killer question, Juan.
All right. Dustin got more grit, baby.
Yes, sir.
More visible
Yes,
grit.
sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go. In a classic sense, bro. Dustin got the grit. Let's close this shit out, dude. ChatGPT boring as hell. I need to talk to their developers. I'm gonna
Yeah.
add grit as a requirement.
Disgusting.
All right, man. So let us know down in the comments what fight you would want to watch or whose fight card you think would be dope.
And if you got any ideas of ticket pricing, bring them on.
Yeah, dude. How do
Bring
we
'em on.
solve UFC's ticket pricing dilemma?
We got to keep complaining here.
Cause fuck them.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor ruined everything. Peace.